Welcome to Cyberlink Camp 4. I'm Abraham Lincoln. No, not really. Hey guys, I'm tennyak. Welcome to my review of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Let's do it. Let's roll right on into Season 2. Season 2 opener. When she was bad. Last time on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Season 1 finale, Prophecy Girl. Buffy the Vampire Slayer found out there was a prophecy that she was going to go try and kill the Master, but the Master was going to kill her. She flipped out because she was only 16 and she didn't want to die. So she ran away. But then, once she found out that Giles, her watcher, was willing to, well, pretty much go fight the Master himself, she decided she needed to step up and be a Slayer. So she punched out Giles so he couldn't go fight the Master, went, fought the Master, died in the process, and the Master rose. However, Angel, her vampire cursed with a soul, not her boyfriend, but her true love, and Xander, her best guy pal since moving to Sunnydale, who's secretly, but recently not so secretly in love with her, and to whom she does not return his feelings, stumbled upon her dead body. Xander brought her back to life with CPR because technically she had drowned, and technically she was dead, so she did fulfill the prophecy, but Buffy, now alive, Xander and Angel meet up with the rest of the gang. Buffy fights off the Master, kills him, and closes the helm out, and then goes off to enjoy her summer with her dad, Hank, in LA. Now, stay tuned for Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 2, When She Was Bad. That was actually a lot of fun, you guys. So, Buffy returns, and she's a bitch. But, if you're wondering why she's a bitch, I recommend this book. Can you see it? This book. This book. How I Survived My Summer Vacation, Volume 1. And the tagline says, "What really happened the summer after sophomore year." It's written by a bunch of different people, but the very first story is about Buffy pretty much getting hexed, that whoever she touches, she can see their death. She sees her mom's death, which ends up not being accurate, but that's many seasons later. She sees her dad's death, and she sees Angel's death, which of course is accurate. And so she kind of flips out, and when she's in LA, she meets up with an old friend of hers who, well, totally disses her for having last year's hair, but her friend's actually a vampire, so Buffy's forced to slay her friend, and then she goes and gets this year's hair, so that explains why Buffy shows up with her new haircut, but it also kind of explains why she's such a bitch. But eventually, Buffy comes around to her senses, you know, She does what any Slayer needs to do when she's in emotional turmoil. She took a sledgehammer and she ground the Master's bones to make her bread. And then, you know, Xander and Willow forgive her because they're her buds. And you know what? When you guys are true friends and your friend says, "I'm sorry," and they mean it, and they learn and they grow, you're still there for them in the end. And Angel, of course, forgives her because he's hopelessly in love with her. And they're soulmates. Sorry, guys, I'm not a big Buffy Angel fan, but they're soulmates, so of course he forgives her. And, well, you know, Giles is still her watcher, and Jenny is still there, and or Miss Calendar, I call her Jenny. And Cordelia knows all about Buffy being the Slayer. So Cordelia, she's taken another step into that world of becoming a better person. And I know I've spent a lot of these vlogs talking about how she's a better person, or how she becomes a better person, and Cordelia's never been my favorite, not even close to being my favorite character, but rewatching the series actually is definitely, it's having me appreciate Cordelia a lot more. So I can't wait to get into Season 3, because that's Cordelia's last year on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it's a great year for her, especially with all the chaos that happens. But thanks, guys. I have been tennyak. This has been my review of Buffy the Vampire Slayer When She Was Bad, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good. Bye, everyone.